Hello.
Oh man, what's up guys? Happy Monday. So welcome again to the Billboard's Hot 100 Top 10 Countdown. I'm Trevor.
I'm Gary.
And as you guys know, this is the place every week where you find out the top 10 of the Hot 100 before anybody else.
A lot of Ed Sheeran lately.
Yeah, for, well, 2 months now, 8 weeks.
Does he want to share the spotlight with anyone else?
Does he? Whoa. I don't think so.
He probably doesn't, but he might have to. Some interesting stuff going on in the top 10 this week that may or may not be Ed Sheeran related, or maybe someone else does something pretty exciting this week.
Someone else just might make a big splash. We'll go ahead and tease. We got a couple new top 10s coming for you guys, so make sure you pay attention, and maybe some of your favorites will make the cut this week.
Yep. Shall I kick us off, Trevor?
You shall.
All right. Number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 this week. Down for number 9, it's the Chainsmokers In Paris. Another week in the top 10 for the Chainsmokers. It's actually another week with 2 Chainsmokers songs, so we'll save the exciting Chainsmokers information, even more exciting than this, ahead for their other song. But Trevor, why stay in Paris when we could maybe go to another city?
Oh, Gary, I didn't see this one coming. Well, let's keep on moving to number 9 this week. We'll take a little travel. How about Paris to Portland? Drake's Portland debuts at number 9 this week, so brand new debut, and it's in the top 10 this week. So big moves there, featuring Quavo of Amigos, who may also show up again somewhere later in the top 10, and Travis Scott. Obviously, More Life is making its chart impact this week after it was released on March 18th. Debuts at number 1 on the Billboard 200, pulls over 500,000 units overall, so obviously a really strong start for Drake. Drake is the man. What can you say?
My question is it Portland, Maine? Is it Portland, Oregon? Do we know which?
What other Portlands you got?
Those are the 2 Portlands, aren't they?
Is that I thought they were like more. Oh, I'm thinking like Springfield. They're like 25 Springfield.
Right, not the Simpsons, Springfield.
Yeah.
Portland.
Yeah.
And if anyone knows, I haven't researched this, if anyone knows of another top 10 in the past in Hot 100 history that had 2 city names, back to back, no other words.
Okay,
like,
if someone
like
actually
New York and Chicago. Or,
if someone actually knows that, I'll be impressed. I'll be amazed. I'll be a little worried,
little scared, yeah.
And I'll take it. I mean, I would be.
Let us know if you know. I haven't researched it. It's probably has happened.
I can't even think of like other city names.
Yeah, there was a hit called Boston, my hometown. But moving on.
Our producer's forcing us to move to number 8.
More Drake. Look at that. Passion Fruit debuts at number 8 on the countdown. So that means 2 debuts in the top 10 for Drake, because we had Portland at number 9, Passion Fruit at number 8. It's the second time in Hot 100 history that one artist has debuted 2 songs in the top 10, and the only other person to do that was a few months ago.
So you guys saw it right here live.
Yep, Ed Sheeran, Shape of You and Castle on the Hill on the January 28th chart. So second time that's ever happened, an act having 2 debuts in the top 10. Again, Trevor's just saying, More Life, huge debut on the Billboard 200. These are just 2 songs that debut from the album in the top 10. If we went all the way deeper, below the screen here, all the way to number 100.
Down in the sunken place, yeah.
A new record for Drake, 24 songs total on the Hot 100. Breaks his own record of 20 for a single week. All 22 songs from More Life are on the chart. 21 debuts, that's a record, just a huge record-breaking week for Drake. We're gonna have all this on Billboard.com as soon as we're done, so all the details there, except whether there have been 2 cities in the top 10 at the same time.
And if you're keeping tallies, of course, this is number 19 and number 20 in terms of Drake's top 10s on the Hot 100. Only the 17th person to get 20 top 10 hits on the Hot 100. All-time leader is still Madonna, holding on with 38.
Kind of notably ties Taylor Swift. She also has 20. Chicago and the Supremes also have 20. Chicago, there's another city.
Yeah, we're getting in there.
We'll work it in.
Okay, sick. Yeah, okay, well, awesome. This will be the end of the Drake train, we'll go ahead and say. But number 7 this week, back to the Chainsmokers. So all we've had really so far are Chainsmokers
4 songs,
and Drake.
2 artists.
Yeah, Chainsmokers back up 1 spot from last week's number 8. This week number 7. With the song with Coldplay, Something Just Like This. The song is down a little bit from its number 5 peak that it had a few weeks ago, but it is holding strong as the number 1 dance electronic song this week, number 1 for a 3rd week overall on the Hot Dance Electronic Songs chart. And we'll go ahead and add that little Chainsmokers tidbit that Gary was talking about earlier. This is the Chainsmokers, count it, 47th straight week in the top 10. So if they hold on next week with any one of these songs, they will tie Ace of Base's record for 48 weeks, which is the most consecutive weeks in the top 10 by any duo or group. And I mean, odds are looking pretty good for them. I mean, they've already gotten this far, of course. So
We're bringing back Ace of Base in the news every week.
I know we're gonna get those Ace of Base Twitter mentions up next week.
They were good songs.
Yeah,
They still are. So yeah, we'll see next week. Still far away from the overall record, Katy Perry.
Katy Cats, you know that.
69 straight weeks in the top 10, but the way the Chainsmokers are going.
I mean, closer, broke records already, so who knows?
And the album is coming out April 7th. So
Yeah,
we'll
April
see what
7th.
happens.
April 7th is going to be that's the Harry Styles single. That's supposed to be Kendrick's something. That's
Michelle Branch.
let's
That's the one I'm waiting for.
Michelle Branch, come through.
Yeah.
It's going to be a stacked release day.
All right, moving on. Number 6 on the Hot 100 this week, holding at its peak, Kodak Black, Tunnel Vision. So still doing really well in streaming. That's what's driving the song.
Yeah.
Again, that video is just makes a real statement. So that is keeping the song in the top 10. We'll see if it hits the top 5.
Well, and it also might have a big jump coming, or some sort of a jump coming in the next few weeks. The album is coming out, it seems, this Friday. I didn't realize that they were, I guess ready for this. Obviously, with Tunnel Vision making This Is the Time to Strike. But Painting Pictures, I think it's called, it's supposed to be released this Friday. So
Cool.
definitely could help out as well.
All right.
And halfway, is it my turn? Oh, we're halfway up. Okay, let's
Turn the page.
keep on. We're doing so well. Let's keep on going. Number 5 this week on the Hot 100. Holding at number 5 is I Feel It Coming, The Weeknd featuring Daft Punk. So the song holds its number 5 peak on the Hot 100. Really jumped after the music video premiere. That really launched it back into the top 10. Remember, it got to the top 10 for the first time after the Grammys, dipped a little bit, and with the video, now it's roaring back. Still holding strong, another solid top 5 hit from the Weeknd Starboy album. Title track hit number 1.
And it is on sale at iTunes for 69 cents. So a little discount is helping it, but people aren't being forced to buy it. They're still buying it.
Abel's not putting a gun to anybody's head and saying, spend that 75 cents.
All right, moving on. Number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 this week. It is down a notch for number 3. Amigos featuring Lil Uzi Vert, Bad and Bougie. 3 weeks at number 1. One day I will say this, and you will not laugh.
Gary
when I say
assigns
that.
these, so I don't know why he always gives himself Amigos. But
I don't think far enough ahead, and then I realize when I'm saying it. But former number 1, and you mentioned Quavo before in the top 10 on Portland with Drake. So now he has his first solo top 10, and this is Amigos' first top 10. So 2 Chainsmokers, 2 Drakes, 2 Quavos.
2 Quavos.
If that's the plural of Quavo. Probably.
I don't even, yeah, I guess Quavos, yeah. Okay, cool. Moving on to number 3 this week. Climbing up, we got Zayn and Taylor Swift's I Don't Want to Live Forever, 50 Shades Darker. So the song is up actually 1 spot from last week. It was number 4 last week. Remember, it reached an overall peak of number 2, so still holding on really close to that. Really huge on radio, still the number 2 radio airplay song in the country, which is really the biggest factor of it right now. Of course, Zayn obviously has a lot of new music coming. He just put out a song last week with Party Next Door, and there's probably some buzz about an album coming, which, again, I mean, between that and Harry Styles.
It's a big One Direction.
It's about to be a big,
last week.
Liam obviously became a father for the first time.
Right.
So,
we'll see if Zayn debuts next week somewhere on the Hot 100 with that song.
Yeah.
So could be more Zayn next week. We don't have the numbers yet. We don't know if it'll be top 10, but we will do our projections and find out. All right, up to the top 2.
2 left.
What do we think is number 1?
Well, here's number 2.
Bruno Mars for second week. That's what I like. So moved up to number 2. It holds there. Really doing well at radio. It's really kicking in. It's been the greatest gainer in all radio formats for 4 out of the last 5 weeks. So it's helping push it towards the top. Still not quite there, but still gaining.
It's only 1 spot away, Gary.
Well, that's a big 1 spot away. It's not like 75
It's
to 74.
a 1 spot away.
2 to 1's a little bit different. So what's number 1, Trevor?
So once again, the number 1 song on the Hot 100 this week is that bloop. Oh, we changed up the background a little bit. Shape of You, Ed Sheeran, which is Number 1 for a 9th week overall, so huge hit there. Number 1 really across the board. Once again, it's number 1 in sales, it's number 1 in streaming, and it's number 1 on radio airplay. And again, Atlantic Records holding strong with the numbers 1 and 2 domination. Remember the first time since, well, besides last week, the first time since 2011 that Atlantic has had the number 1 and number 2 song in the country. So
right, and starting to see a little action now for Castle on the Hill, which we mentioned before. It debuted at number 6.
Oh, it's coming back
in January.
up.
It debuts on the adult pop songs chart. Okay. So not an official second single, but radio's starting to jump on that because Shape of You. You can only play it so many times, although people love it, so they're still playing it, but go a little deeper into the Divide album, so we'll see if that becomes a hit as well. But yeah, another huge week, and we'll see next week if can hit the magic 10 weeks.
Can it join the double-digit club?
The double-digit club.
First song to do that would be the first song to do that since Closer.
That's right. Yeah. All right, so lots more next week. Meanwhile, this week, all the Drake information, just tons of stuff on Drake on Billboard.com, all his records. He just set a whole bunch of records this week, so we run them all down on Billboard.com. Find it there. Hit us up on Twitter as well, because we want to get your comments, questions, anything you want to know about the rest of the chart below the top 10. I'm at GT Hot 20 on Twitter.
I'm at T Anderson 5569. If that's too much, just find Gary. You can just find me on Gary's page.
That works. It's a subdivision of my Twitter.
There we go.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching, as always. See you next time.
Have a good week.